What's up? I'm Natasha. I am a mama of four, a certified life transformation, hormone, and weight loss coach, former RN. For the people that don't know me, a couple years ago, my husband passed away from colorectal cancer. So ever since then, I've gone on this like dramatic transformation and really trying to help people just live their best life. I've completely transformed, and even though I'm going to be 37 next month, I am in the best shape of my life, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Okay, and so now I'm just like on that mission to really inspire you guys to live out your best lives, no matter what you've been through. Okay, but I'm also a health nerd. Being a former nurse, I love science, I love psychology, and I love really understanding behavior and understanding how we can get ourselves to do what we want to do, because that's what I had to do. Okay, today's gonna be really good. I'm gonna go in a little bit more detail about losing stubborn belly fat and building glutes, because those are questions that I get asked all the time. And I want you guys to actually understand why we all are so, infatuated or desiring a flatter stomach. Okay? The reason I'm going to talk about the psychology about flat stomachs and strong glutes, why we find them attractive. Okay? Okay, so my people, I'll first talk about the psychology about why we are so attracted to and wanting flat stomachs and strong glutes and strong legs. And then I'll talk about 5 ways that you can get a tighter waist and build your glutes starting today. Okay, obviously there's no quick fix, but at least you can get on track. Okay, and my body's gone through so many changes to having 4 kids and being 36, almost 37, but you still have hope, so don't worry. Okay, so I was thinking about this the other day. Like, why are we so obsessed with flat bellies and strong glutes? And it's not about being superficial. There's some people that just want it for superficial reasons, which is fine, but it's like, why? Why are we so attracted to flat bellies and strong glutes? So there's an evolutionary reason why we are so obsessed with flat bellies and strong glutes and strong legs, okay? So the reason for that is it's an indicator of health, okay? So when you actually think about it, even things like thick hair, flawless skin, white teeth, white eyes, flat bellies, being in shape, those are all signs of health, right? So, and especially like for men and women, it's different. So typically, and these are just generalizations. I'm not saying this is for everyone. I know that there is exceptions to the rules. I'm just talking about the evolutionary reasons of why we are attracted to what we're attracted to. And then I'm going to get into the health side of it. Okay. And because I think it's fascinating to understand our human psychology and why we think the way we think. So anyway, women typically are attracted to men that are taller and stronger than them, right? Because it's a sign of protection, right? Back in the day when they were hunting and fighting and warring, we wanted men that could protect us. So naturally, women typically, in general, are attracted to men that have a stronger upper body, right? Strong shoulders, tall, right? Because it's a sign of protection and strength. And then for men, typically, not in every situation, once again, I can already hear you guys is like, well, no, not this, not that. I'm talking about in general, okay? Typically, men are attracted to women that are, I shouldn't even say men, just people in general are attracted to women that have, that hourglass shape, right? Wider hips, more mature chest, flatter belly, and that is a sign of fertility, okay? Because genetically, you're not a young girl, you're a woman, you're a grown woman, and it's a sign of fertility, right? So that's where that comes from. Now, getting into the flat belly and the strong legs and the strong glutes, typically both men and women typically want to have a flat belly or a flatter belly. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have a six-pack, but most people are always wanting to have a tighter waistline and stronger glutes, right? So with your belly, when you have belly fat, when you have more belly fat, it affects your hormones, especially for women. Okay, so it increases your insulin levels and increases your cortisol levels. Also impacts estrogen levels and progesterone levels. Okay, and it's like this vicious cycle of when you're eating fatty foods that are causing belly fat to be stored, it's causing the body to be even more insulin resistant. We already know that diabetes is like a huge issue in the US, right? Causes inflammation. It also produces more cortisol in the body. Cortisol is our stress hormone. Okay, and then our stress hormone cortisol, we need cortisol, but when we have too much of it, it actually causes us to store more fat. Okay, and same with another hormone called ghrelin. Okay, so all these hormones actually cause us to store more belly fat. So it's like this vicious cycle of you have belly fat, then you're producing more, like your fat cells are producing even more estrogen, okay, which is making it even harder to lose belly fat. Okay, cortisol enlarges the fat cells, lowers your immune system, and makes it harder to lose the belly fat because your body thinks it's in like starvation mode. Okay, when your body is in famine and starvation mode because it's stressed out, it's going to hold on to the belly fat. Okay, so subconsciously, you guys, because of evolution, right? Our bodies are programmed to want to reproduce. And so naturally, when you actually think about it, we're attracted to traits that are actually linked to health. So it's not, and I know social media has completely messed things up. I'm not going to deny that at all. Okay, so this is why we have stubborn belly fat. Okay, two things: hormones and lifestyle. Hormonal imbalance, lifestyle imbalance. That's it. Okay. Anyway, so now you guys understand the reason for that. So with the glutes, I'll talk about the glutes and then I'll talk about what you guys can do about this. So with glutes, why are we so obsessed about glutes? Why do we want strong glutes? Also, psychologically and evolutionarily speaking, strong glutes and strong legs are a sign of health. Like, just think about this for a minute. Think of like a frail older person that doesn't have very strong legs, their muscles are atrophying, right? They're shrinking, versus somebody that is young and healthy. Look at a little kid, just as an example. Strong legs, right? Strong, their bums, like I look at my kids, not in an uncomfortable way, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Everything is strong and tight, right? It's a sign of youthfulness. So, and also, even as you age, strong glutes are a sign of a strong back, strong lower back, a strong core, strong legs, alignment, right? Also, the reason why I'm saying this too is because for you to look healthier and be healthier, you want to have strong glutes and legs and a smaller waistline, okay? So first thing, you guys, with belly, one of the biggest reasons for, even before we get into the belly fat, one of the main reasons why your belly sticks out is bloating. So if this is a bloating issue and not a belly fat issue, this is what's going to happen throughout the day. Your belly will start to stick out more. Okay. So maybe at the beginning of the day, it's like flatter. And then by the end of the day, it's probably bloating. Okay. So that's the first thing. So if you have bloating issues, quick fix for that, it could be so many different things, but a lot of times it is dairy, it's wheat. I would say start there, and you're not having proper bowel movements, okay? Now, if it is not bloating, I don't want to get too much into bloating today. Maybe at the very end of time, I'll get more into the bloating stuff. But that's usually the first cause. I want to get more into the second cause, which is what we're eating in our lifestyle, because that affects our hormones, right? And that's what I think you guys all want to talk about. So foods that will help lower the cortisol levels, will help you with your estrogen and progesterone balance, that will help with your insulin balance. I know you guys have probably heard this before, but now I hope you have a better understanding of why these foods are so important, okay, for stubborn belly fat. It's your whole foods. Okay, so your whole fruits and vegetables, number one, you want to be having protein and your healthy carbs, your complex carbs. So cutting out that dairy, cutting out that processed sugars, the breads, okay, that is a good start. I have a list of foods specifically that help with your metabolism, that help with your insulin levels, that help with your hormonal balance in my bio link, and it is free to download. for you. Okay, I have a lot of girls that will go and they will download it and they will stick it on their fridge. The other thing is you want to have fiber, okay? The reason why you want to have fiber in your diet, one, it makes you feel full so you don't overeat. Two, it slows the digestion of your food. When you slow down the digestion of your food, you slow the spike in insulin. So this is what causes diabetes, you guys, okay? I'll try to make it really simple for you. So when you're eating a lot of processed foods, lots of sugary foods, your body breaks it down instantly. So then your body just shoots the blood sugar and your insulin levels shoot up really, really fast. Okay. And then if you're eating all the time, like all day long, you're just kind of like grazing, or you're eating a lot of processed sugary foods, your insulin levels are always high. Remember, insulin is a fat storing hormone. That means it makes it harder to lose fat. Okay. We don't want that. Also, it's also an aging hormone. Okay. So there's so much research now, you guys. You want to age in reverse. You want to look young, till you're 85 years old, looking like J-Lo, all that stuff. We got to keep our blood sugar levels lower and our insulin levels lower. Okay. So fiber, what it does, and even protein, when you incorporate that in every single meal that I personally eat, I make sure I have protein in there and I make sure I have fiber in there, because it's instead of like a shooting up of your blood sugar and your insulin, you're going to have a slow spike. And it's probably not even going to go as high as it would, okay? Because it takes longer to digest. Also, lots of fiber will help get rid of any excess estrogens and hormones that your body is not needing, that is being produced from the excess fat that you have. So dairy, you guys, this is what happens with dairy. So if you have bloating issues, if you have stubborn belly fat issues, you guys have heard me talk about this before, if you have adult acne issues, dairy, what happens with dairy, when you consume it, and I'm talking about like whey protein in your protein bars, and you think you're on a diet and you have protein bars and you got whey protein in there, or milk protein, or you're having yogurt thinking you're all healthy, and I mean, not all yogurt's bad, but a lot of this stuff with dairy in it, even like chips and stuff, you go look at the ingredients, you guys, there is milk proteins and whey protein in a lot of that stuff. Okay, it's in so much food now. What happens is it sits in our gut and it just ferments and it produces gas. That's why you get bloated and you feel, when you feel heavy and gross and bloated after a meal, and like you didn't think that there was dairy in there, was probably dairy in there. Butter, stuff like that. So try to cut out that dairy and try to eat more fiber and more of the whole foods. Like I said, I have a free download list. You guys can go and check that out. Okay. What kind of fiber foods? Honestly, it's like the basic stuff, you guys. It's like just fruits and vegetables with the skin on it. Keep the skin. If you're going to have a sweet potato, I eat sweet potatoes. They're great for your hormones. They're a healthy form of carb. I'll keep the skin on it because the skin is a form of fiber. Your body is not going to break it down, right? So it's almost like, imagine a broom going through your digestive system. That's what fiber is. And it's just going to sweep everything out. Even low-fat dairy is not good. Yeah, totally. Frank knows this stuff. Yeah, even low-fat dairy, like just, it's all marketing, you guys. All this like no sugar, no fat dairy is just processed crap. Okay, and even if you're like a vegan or you like to have vegan choices for things, like I'm way like all about more plant-based stuff. I'm not on any fad diets or anything. I just think about my hormones. That's it. I say, is this good for my hormones or is this not good for my hormones? Because if it's not good for my hormones, it just causes a whole bunch of other issues. But anyway, what I was going to say is even some of those vegan cheeses and dairy products, be careful with them because sometimes they're full of like soybean oil and like corn oil and like, I don't even know some of the ingredients that they have in there. So even if you're trying to be healthy, trying to be vegan, and you guys, I was vegan for 2 years. While my husband was going through cancer treatments, I tried to be vegan and I'm all about like a plant-based diet. That's why I did it. But I was really stressed out. I didn't do it properly. I became really anemic. So just really look at the ingredients in the packaging is my encouragement to you. Having a lot of salt in your food causes water retention. That's what causes bloating. Okay, water goes where salt is. That's why when you have a high salt diet, you feel puffy everywhere. Okay. How do you know what is good for your hormones? That's a really good question, Missy May. Really, really good question. Your starting point is this. Is this a real food? Is this like a real whole food in its natural state? Typically, those foods are better for your hormones. Your hormones need, you guys, your hormones need vitamins and minerals, and your hormones need healthy fats also to work properly. Okay, when you start having lots of processed foods, like in breads, dairies, just like junk food, packaged foods, think packaged foods that are processed. And I'm not saying all of them are bad, like you can have them once in a while, but just, this is all about awareness, right? So when look at what you're eating throughout the day, what you're snacking on throughout the day. If most of the things that you're snacking on and eating throughout the day comes in a package, okay, then, and it's processed, then it probably isn't the best for you, okay? Once again, I have a free download if you click my bio there, it's a free ebook. It says, I think it's like 27 ways to lose weight for busy women. I have free food lists in there. It talks about all the seeds, all the nuts. It talks about veggies, fruit, it talks about healthy protein. It's like a checklist. It's a really simple checklist. So then you can start learning how to eat foods that are good for your hormones and your metabolism, okay? Fish, great. Yes, fish oil. Yeah, so I have omega-3 fatty acids every single day. I give them to my kids as well, okay? Vitamin D, you need all your vitamins and minerals, okay? But ones that are really, really important, like that I personally have every day, vitamin D is really good for your hormones, your omega fatty acids. I have chlorophyll every day also, and you guys probably aren't going to have that. So I don't want to confuse you guys. I want you guys to start with like the basic stuff first. So the next thing with hormones, outside of food, but actually, this is also really, really important, you guys, what you're drinking, okay? So if you're having really sugary drinks or your coffee with cream in it, stuff like that, just be aware of that, okay? Like I personally just drink a ton of water, and all the girls that work with me, they know you got to drink a ton of water, okay? That's going to flush everything out. It's going to keep your skin looking glowing. It's going to help you with your digestive system. It's going to help you with bloating and like flush everything out, okay? You need a ton of water. That's one thing. If you are going to have coffee, try to just keep it to 1 or 2 cups a day. We don't want to have too much caffeine, because anytime you're putting a bunch of stress on the body, that's what increases our cortisol levels. Okay, but coffee in small doses is actually thermogenic, means it actually increases your metabolic rate. Same with water. Water has been shown to increase your metabolic rate. Did you know that? Okay, so now you guys kind of have an idea of foods and drinks to balance out the hormones, okay? So the next thing is stress and sleep. So once again, when you're stressed, when you're really, really stressed out, your cortisol levels are high. When you are not sleeping properly, and a lot of people do shift work and stuff like that, or they're on their phones, and I have not been perfect at this, I'm not going to lie, but you're on your phone so late at night and you're not sleeping properly, it actually increases your cortisol levels. I just blanked out for a second. So anyway, proper sleep. So you want to be sleeping 7 to 9 hours every single night, okay? Because it's also when you're not sleeping properly, you're going to increase your appetite. So that's when you start craving more junk food also. And once again, when you have high cortisol, you're storing the belly fat. It's harder to lose that, okay? Also, do you have any sort of like de-stressing practices throughout the day? That's huge. Ever since my husband passed away, and I never used to take this stuff seriously, to be honest with you. Like I ate healthy, but I didn't understand the impact of stress on the body. And the crazy thing is, you guys, this is why I'm like so passionate about like hormones, because after my husband passed away and I was just focusing on my hormones from a point of my mental health and my emotional health and just having the energy and not like getting depressed, the side effect of that, so I started taking like adaptogens. I didn't even mention that earlier, but adaptogens really help with balancing out the hormones. But I started doing things I'm telling you guys about, like changing up how you're eating, getting proper sleep. I started reducing my stress. I started taking adaptogens every day. And like I said, it was just to keep me out of a depression. But the side effect of that was my metabolism improved. My skin cleared up. My bloating went away. I have 0 PMS symptoms. And I'm like clockwork with my menstrual cycle still to this day. After 4 kids, at almost 37 years old, I'm like textbook. So that's all hormones. Okay. So it affects your mental health. Like that's what I'm saying, you guys, like having a flat stomach is such a sign of health, of good health, because having a flat stomach is a sign that you don't have bloating issues. You have healthy digestion issues. You have healthy gut. Now they've linked so much research with a healthy gut to a healthy mind. A lot of depression is actually just from an unhealthy gut. Is that crazy? So unless it's like a situation you just went through, like you just went through a loss or something, that's understandable. But if you really don't have any reason to be depressed right now, it could be because of your gut health and your diet. Okay. What about having 2 babies up, never have a flat stomach again? I mean, obviously your body is going to change after you have a baby, right? But a lot of times women are like, oh, I've had a baby or I've had babies, and then they just let themselves go. Okay, and then what happens is, yes, we need to love our body, and you need to give yourself grace through that, especially if you've just had a baby. Like your body is going to change. Okay, but you still can become a better version of yourself. You can still lose that weight. You can still do things like what I'm talking about today with the eating and the hormones, and I'm going to talk about the waist training and stomach vacuum soon, that will help shrink that waistline. Okay. And another reason why this is so important, not only for your immune system and health, like I'm talking about, but you'll feel better about yourself. And as a mom, as anyone, but especially as a busy mom, you girls know when you let yourself go, you don't feel good about yourself. And when you start to look good, you start to feel good. Your confidence increases, your energy increases, and it's like this positive cycle because your hormones are balancing, your gut's healthier, so you're happier because you have more happy hormones. Right? And then you look good. So you're just like, you're proud of yourself. So it's a positive cycle versus a vicious cycle, right? The next thing I was going to talk about, so we talked about food, we talked about proper sleep, de-stressing practices, right? To balance out those hormones. Okay. Waist training and stomach vacuums. Waist training, stomach vacuums. So this is like more of a physical thing. So just let's assume right now you're starting to eat healthier. You've downloaded that free ebook. You're starting to eat foods and drink stuff and have adaptogens every day to balance out those hormones. You're practicing, de-stressing exercises every single day, like meditation, prayer, dance, just journaling, all that stuff, whatever you need to do to help de-stress. You're getting your beauty sleep every night. Okay. So now you want to take your waistline to that next level. So the first thing is there's no such thing as spot reducing, okay, you guys? So spot reducing is like people think they can do all these crunchies and they're going to lose their belly fat. That doesn't work that way, okay? You got to lose overall belly fat, which is mostly what you're eating, which we already talked about. Okay, the next thing, though, you can do that is waist training. I didn't bring my waist trainer, but I have a ton of waist training videos. So you guys make sure you're following me. You can go watch my waist training videos. I'm a big believer in waist training. I started waist training after my first baby. And essentially all it is you guys have seen waist trainers, right? There's so many different types, but it does help train your waist, especially if you've just had a baby. That's like the best time to waist train. And it just helps bring your stomach back, your muscles back, okay? It's not going to help you with belly fat. It's not going to help your hormones. It's just purely helping to train your waist to go back smaller, okay? I wear a waist trainer to lift weights every single day, right? Because if you're lifting weights and my trainer actually taught me this, if you're lifting heavy weights, and especially if you've had babies, you guys, and you are not wearing a waist trainer, like even bodybuilders wear waist trainers and most of them haven't even had babies. And the reason for that is when you're lifting weight, you guys, so imagine you're lifting heavy weights, you're squatting, you're doing whatever, you're actually pushing your stomach muscles out. So then the stomach muscles start to push out. You know when you're exercising as a mom and like your stomach starts to kind of like tent? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's like the muscles are sticking out, right? That's why. So the waist training actually helps bring, it helps you become aware of your waist, and it helps prevent you from pushing your waist out when you're exercising. So the next thing, sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. I just realized I'm thirsty and I didn't bring any water. Okay, so stomach vacuums. Let's talk about stomach vacuums. So stomach vacuums are amazing. I actually did not discover stomach vacuums until after I got my rectus diastasis surgical repair, my umbilical hernia repair, and you can't do sit-ups right away. And I had a different trainer at that time, and she was the first one actually to teach me stomach vacuums. And then recently, not that long ago, Dennis, my personal trainer right now, also showed me stomach vacuums. So stomach vacuums, bodybuilders even do it. It is so much better than crunchies and sit-ups. Okay. Once again, crunchies and sit-ups, especially if you've had babies, often will just end up pushing your stomach muscles out even more. Okay. Stomach vacuums work the internal stomach muscles and help you flatten it and get that tight waistline. Okay. So it is so much better than crunchies and sit-ups. The beautiful thing about stomach vacuums, you guys, is that it doesn't matter, if you're out of shape or you haven't done anything, you can literally start doing this now. Start doing it every single morning if you can. It's easy. And not only is it going to help you get more of a snatched waistline, but it's good for strengthening your core and your back. Okay. It's just getting into the habit, right? And the best way to get into a habit for anything is doing it every day. Okay. So sometimes I'll just do it in the shower. I'll do it while I'm making my coffee in the morning. Go outside if it's sunny out, stand outside, get some fresh air, some vitamin D, and go do 10 stomach vacuums. Make it fun and easy, but it will help flatten that stomach. Okay. So what you're going to do, you can even stand up with me if you want. So you're going to, breathe in and imagine your belly button, you guys, and you're going to pull it into your back. Now you could do this standing up, or you can do it lying down with your knees up. And I have a video on this, okay? So what you're going to do, you're going to hold it. You're going to pull your stomach in, your stomach muscles in. You can still breathe while you're doing this. But as you're breathing, still hold your belly muscles in, okay? So it's like this. So this is normal, right? And then especially focus on right here. So I'm even still talking, I'm breathing, but I'm still pulling it in, and it takes practice, okay? At the beginning, especially if you haven't worked your core as a mom, it's going to feel really weird, and you're probably not going to be able to hold it for very long, okay? As you're practicing this, you're going to get stronger doing it, okay? Especially these muscles right here. Try to do 10 every morning, okay? And really practice bringing that belly button to your back. So like I said, you can do it lying down with your knees up if you want, okay? So at the beginning, you might only be able to hold it for 20 seconds, but try to work your way up to about 45 seconds if you can. It's also good for your pelvic muscles, mamas, when you do those stomach vacuums, okay? So even if you've had a C-section, as long as you've gotten cleared by your doctor to do this, these are really, really good alternatives to stomach crunchies and sit-ups, okay? So the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, I think this is my last point, because we already talked about eating, we talked about bloating, we talked about waist training, we talked about stomach vacuums, we talked about stress and sleep and how all of that affects your hormones, right? So the last thing for your stomach, having a flat, snatched waist, and for glutes, have nice strong glutes, is the type of exercise that you're doing. Okay, so you're not going to be doing a bunch of cardio. Doing a bunch of cardio, you burn a bunch of calories when you're doing cardio, but as soon as you're done the cardio, you guys, you're not burning calories anymore. Especially if you're over 30, you need to do some sort of resistance training, okay? Like I said, I'm almost 37. I work out 4 times a week, sometimes 5 if I can. But you don't need to do hours of cardio. So I'll still do I'll do bound walks. I have that on my social. You can guys go check it out. But the most important thing that I focus on that really has made the biggest difference for my core and for my glutes, my legs, is resistance training. Okay, so walking is great, doing yoga, Pilates, that stuff's nice. But if you want to actually change the shape of your body, if you want to build, a nice perky glutes, somebody was talking about sagging skin, you want to deal with that, you need to have muscle on your body. And it does not mean that you're going to be like all bulky. Some girls are so scared they're going to look bulky. You're not going to look bulky. You're just going to look toned, because muscle, you guys, weighs more than fat, but it's tighter. Okay, so even if your weight goes up, like I've actually increased weight, but my shape is better because I have muscle in my body now. Okay, I will not compromise my weight training anymore because it has changed my body so much. And it gives me the freedom to, even though I intermittent fast and I eat all this food, like the healthier food, like I talked to you guys about, I've noticed it does increase your metabolism, right? Because the more muscle you have on your body, the higher metabolic rate. After 30, naturally you lose muscle and your metabolism slows down. But you can increase it by keeping muscle on the body. You need that through weight training. When did you start to see results? It took a few months. To be honest with you. It doesn't happen overnight. And like I remember probably the first 2 months, I was training with my new trainer, Dennis, and I was just in so much pain. I could barely walk up and down the stairs, but it was so worth it because I started to feel stronger. I didn't really look a whole lot different, but I felt stronger. But you guys should go, like I have a recent video where it shows like my before and after from working out from 1 year. And like my glutes and my legs are so much stronger, so much stronger. It's not even just about your weight, right? It's like, how do you feel? How do your clothes fit? Okay, so for the flat belly and the strong glutes, I work my legs 3 times a week. 3 times a week. And the reason why I do that, and this is why I really recommend this, I mean, obviously this is not for everyone. I'm just kind of letting you know what I do and what I've seen work really well with other women, especially when you're a busy mom. You don't have time to spend like 2-3 hours in the gym like bodybuilders do, right? Like you might be able to work out 4 times a week, max. Right? So like that's a good week. So when you're working out, you need to make it count. So working your legs you're going to burn the most amount of calories in the shortest amount of time, because your glutes and your thighs, your legs, those are your biggest muscles. So your body has to use so much more energy for those types of workouts. On top of it, whenever you're working your legs, and I'm not talking about on machines, I'm talking about things like doing lunges, side lunges, squats, Bulgarians, like split squats, those types of exercises, deadlifts. A lot of these you can do at home or in the gym. If, by the way, you don't know what I'm talking about, but you're interested, just DM me and I'll just pass you off to my trainer and he can help you with that. But anyway, when you're working those muscles 3 times a week, you're breaking those muscles down. And because they're the biggest muscles in your body, it's going to require more calories to rebuild them. Okay? That means your metabolic rate is going to increase. It also increases your human growth hormone. Do you take creatine? Great question. Or supplements. Okay. I just started taking creatine recently, actually. And so creatine helps the body build more muscle. I'm just kind of like experimenting with it. You don't need to take it, but I am taking, I just started, so I can't really report my results yet, but I will keep you posted. Other than that though, supplements that I do take every single day, I take, what's it called? Turmeric. I have like this joint care supplement mix, and it has turmeric in it, it has collagen in it, and it has, what else does it have in it? Glucosamine in it. I don't have any joint pain, by the way. So that's that. And then I take my omega fatty acid, like I was saying. I take my vitamin D every day. I normally take magnesium, but I ran out and I haven't replaced it yet. But magnesium is also really important for your hormones, ladies, and for muscles. So if you get sore muscles or stress, magnesium is really good for that, okay? I take my adaptogens every day, my Meodor adaptogens, that helps the hormones, those drops. I have those every single day. If you click my bio link up there, it'll show you that too. And that's pretty much all I take every day. Yeah, and then I take a protein powder, but I do plant protein. I do not do whey protein at all. Okay, and I started taking chlorophyll. You don't have to do that. It's just like an extra dose of antioxidants. It's just like the green pigment from plants, and I have it in drop form, and I put it in water, and I just drink it. And it's just really detoxifying, really good for your blood. I even put it in my kids' shakes too. You can overwork out. And sometimes you can work out so much that you end up just burning your muscle away too. So it's like this healthy balance. I literally only work out 4, maybe 5. Like the 5th workout I'm talking about, because I'll do 4 days in the gym doing like the weights I was talking about, and I do band walks or stairs. And then my extra kind of like, I guess it's a different type of workout I do is on my Wednesdays after my live stream. I'll go outside and it's kind of like a walk, and then I'll go do some stairs. Hi, after an intense workout and sore, what things do you do for muscle recovery? Drink. Oh, Reef, that's a really good question. Really, really good question. The number one thing is you want to have a lot of water. Okay, make sure you're drinking a lot of water to flush out all that lactic acid. Okay, and that's why I also started having chlorophyll, just having green stuff to help with the lactic acid. Okay, and just stretching, protein, making sure you have protein, but that's pretty much it. I mean, your muscles are sore because they're broken down and they're building back up, which is a great thing. So the most important thing is that you're just giving your body the nutrients it needs to function properly. So making sure you have your protein, so for me, like protein can be different for anyone, but for me personally, I feel best when I'm having chicken or like a grass-fed beef, fish. Typically I'll have egg whites, and then I'll have my plant protein. Okay, I need to have protein every day. And yeah, just making sure you have your water, and then the healthy carbs. So for carbs, I'll have sweet potato, brown rice, oats. Kind of just rotate between that. Is doing intense Pilates every day bad? You know what? It's not for me to say if it's good or bad. I would ask you, 1, what are your goals? Are you reaching those goals? And is this something that you can sustain? So for some people, they like doing Pilates every day and they're perfectly happy with how their body looks. They love how they feel, and it's something that they can maintain. The best exercise is something that you can actually maintain. Okay, so if that's the case, great. But if you're not actually hitting your goals, like maybe I started off doing Pilates too, and it was perfect for me right after my husband passed away, because I found it very relaxing, and it kind of, got me to start moving my body again. But then I wanted to challenge myself and go to that next level. So that's when I hired a trainer to teach me how to lift weights properly. So, and really like change the shape of my body, and I got so strong. So you got to really look at what are your goals. Okay. And it's also good to mix things up. So maybe you do Pilates a few times a week, and then the other times you're doing a little bit of cardio or doing some sort of resistance training. Okay, it's really, really important, especially for us women, and for guys too, to do some sort of resistance training, because not only for your muscles but for your bone. You need resistance to grow. Your bones need resistance to stay strong, and your muscles need resistance to grow. But the supplements I'm talking about for fat loss and hormones, they're in my bio. You can go click it. You can DM me anytime. Thank you for all these treats that you're sending me right now, flowers and puppy dogs and all that. You can follow me on Instagram. I post every single day on my Instagram, behind the scenes on my stories. And yeah, DM me if you have any questions at all. All my waist training videos and my stomach vacuum videos are on TikTok. So after this, you can go watch them. If you have specific questions, you can comment on my videos. I try to do video replies, or you can just DM me on Instagram. Okay. Remember, you guys, your life is so worth it. Okay. Don't wait. You can just start with something simple, but do not abandon yourself. That is my message, is don't abandon yourself anymore. So I live stream every Wednesday here, okay, for Wellness Wednesday. Trainers are expensive to afford. You know what? That might be true, but, first of all, it depends on the trainer. And second of all, you guys, you need to invest in yourself. You need to invest into yourself. Okay? Transformation happens when you invest into yourself. You are your greatest asset. You are your greatest asset. Okay? So after my husband passed away, and I didn't even know my up from down, I was a mess, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. The one thing I did was invest into myself. And I am so thankful. I am the person I am today because I gave myself permission to invest into myself. Yes, you can get a bunch of free content. I do this for free. I have free ebooks. You can go Google stuff, YouTube. Awesome. Do that. That's a great starting point. But at some point, you have to ask yourself, are you worth it? And I'm saying you are worth it to invest into yourself. Okay? So that's a whole nother conversation that I will not get into right now. But you're worth it. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much, Jen. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna log off now. You guys keep me posted on your progress too. Like DM me your progress and like how you've been doing and all that too. I love it. I love it. You guys encourage me too. Okay. Anyway, guys, I love you. Bye.